Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So, sometimes Instagram doesn't like my Wi-Fi. I hope my family over here in Facebook land can hear me well. Good morning, guys. Good morning. I'm Shavetta Belton, the owner and a stylist of Divine Oasis Salon. I am also a life coach, a licensed educator for the beauty industry, an author, and of course a mom. Hey, Janet. Also a mother of two and a wife. So some of my proudest achievements. Let's see who's over here. Do we have anybody in Instagram world? Not yet. So welcome, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Thank y'all for joining me. Hey, who is that? Miss Robinson. Hey, Anita, how are you? Good morning, guys. If y'all could give me some hearts to let me know you hear me fine. Let me know that you're there kicking it with me. Good morning, Cheryl, that you're there kicking it with me. Also, if you can go ahead and share the post, I would greatly appreciate it. Get the people out there, let them know that we're up and we have started our live for this morning. Guys, let me just do a check-in on y'all. How y'all been? Give me some hearts. Let me know you all right. Hey, Tanisha, I see the hearts. Good morning, beautiful. Good morning. So I had one visitor that came on my page, and she said, hey, Demetra, I really enjoyed it, but I can't get with all of the, you stopping and saying hey to everybody, breaking up. Hey, Jennifer, breaking up, I guess, my thoughts. And so once you're watching and you're in it, it kind of messes you up a little bit for other people, I'm sure. Hey, Tiffany. So I was like, dang. I said, but I like to say good morning to the people who's following me. But hey, Dorisha. So guys, I just asked them if y'all could go ahead and give me some hearts. Let me know you're there, but also go ahead and share the post. I would greatly appreciate it. Guys, can I just be honest? I don't even know if tomorrow, because it's tomorrow Thursday. Tomorrow's Thursday. Tomorrow is Thursday, and so we're on the radio tomorrow at 1:30 for WDRB through iHeartRadio. I'm not sure. Last week was a trying week as far as getting the post, getting my sounds to post for the radio station. So it's a little struggle there. I'm not quite sure if my sound, my audio went over. So I'm a little on edge about that. But last week was a week for the books. Hey, Tanji, if I must be honest, it was a week and a half where it felt like I came out of one test and went into another. Came out of another test and went into another. I said, well, Lord, something must be big on this other side of this journey for me, because it was one thing after another. And I was like, this is something else. But it didn't take me long to realize my error in it. Hey, boo. Hey, guys over there in Instagram. So it didn't take me long to understand where I had to address some things, where I had to look at some things. As we go through life, I think sometimes we sit and we wonder, we get stuck in a place where we don't take a step back and look at ourselves. We don't take a step back and look at our heart posture, or where we may have been holding something, or where we may have been looking at something in the wrong light. We don't take a lot of time and sit back and look at our error and the way we've handled things in certain situations. Good morning, Twanda. So the past week has been one of those where it was kind of rough. The other side of last week was this, guys. This is the funny part. God started revealing things to me. He started showing me things and started bringing things to light for me. So in a lot of things, I hadn't been, good morning. I hadn't been blindsided by some things. I may have been. So I appreciate that. But guys, yesterday, and I'm just doing a catch up so y'all know where I am this Wednesday. So yesterday, I experienced fatigue, like extreme fatigue. And it wasn't just in my body. It was a mental fatigue. It was the emotional fatigue. It was spiritual. It was a lot of, I was feeling a lot of fatigue. Good morning, Barbara. Good morning, Khadijah. I was very fatigued, very, very fatigued. And I woke up and I was like, okay, I didn't want to get up and walk. I didn't want to get up and do the, and guys, if you hadn't joined the Now Walk It Out 2020 challenge with Denise Jackson, please do so. If you look back on my page, you can see where she tagged me and she announced it. It's for the month of August. It's to get your cardio, it's to get your mental, spiritual, and emotional together, and we do it as a unit. She has a private group that we're in. We motivate, we support each other, we're present for each other. So if you like doing things as a unit, you like doing things as a team, join the 2020 Walk It Out challenge. Now Walk It Out challenge 2020. If somebody is in the group and they're on this live, can you please put the name of the group at the bottom? But guys, I got up and I pushed myself to walk, but as I was walking, I was struggling. And I still beat my time that I used to do. I used to do like a little over a mile in like 31, 32 minutes. So I still beat my time. The day before, I hit like 27. Good morning over there, Instagram. I hit 27 minutes. Yesterday, I did it in 28. But as I was walking, I was listening to 1 Corinthians. As I was walking, and I'm feeding myself the word of God because I need strength to make it through. But I'm realizing that it's helping me get through, but I'm still struggling. And I'm like, why am I so fatigued? Hey, Kathy, I was fatigued all the way around. Like in every area. Guys, if you could give me hearts, let me know you're there. Go ahead and like and share if you don't mind. But I was so fatigued. And I really had to, as I'm walking, I'm struggling. Then I get to the back and I just started to do the jump ropes. So I did, that was just my third day trying the jump ropes, right? So I'm doing the jump ropes and I'm at, I did 100. I promised myself I would do 100 before I went in the house. Because the way my body was feeling, I wasn't quite sure if I would make it to do any more. So y'all, I finished. Good morning, Antley. I did my 100 jumping jacks. I came in the house. I mentally just could not get it together. I couldn't get myself going. And I was like, what is the struggle here? What is going on? And so I just laid there and I realized I needed to disconnect all the way around. I needed not to spend, and even when I came in the house, made me a peanut butter wrap on a flat wrap or something, flaxseed or whatever, and I rolled it. And I was like, I'll eat this. It'll give me some energy because I'm thinking fatigue, let me feed my body, probably start feeling better before long. Y'all didn't help. So I went to cut on my TV. Clicking the remote, I see the light, but the TV won't cut on. Surround sound cuts on, the TV won't cut on. And I'm like, what is going on? Cut it off, cut it back on. TV wouldn't cut on. At that very moment, I realized, you need to disconnect all the way together. You're trying to fill this quiet space with noise, thinking I'm going to just chill for a little while because my energy level is going to pick up. But he's sitting there telling you, no, you're fatigued all the way around. You're worn out all the way around. And you need to take this time to rejuvenate. You need to take this time to plug back in to your true source. Not a TV, not a cell phone, not anything. So guys, I sat in my room. Good morning in Instagram. I sat in my room quiet. I sat there for hours quiet. Then I got up and I felt led to go to the lake. Because water does something for me. So I get up and I go to the lake and I sit there and I just, for a minute I cut on jazz and then it was no. cut that off too. I needed to connect. I needed not to have a bunch of conversations. I needed not to be in the midst of a bunch of things. But I needed to seek him. I needed to spend time quietly with him, without the white noise, without the conversations, without the things that take up unnecessary space. And so as I was sitting there, I was like, what is going on? And all I could think was, what are our conversations? What are the things that we're spending our time doing? What are the words that we're speaking out of our mouths and applying them to the act, and those things taking root and being a part of our actions? What are the things we're giving energy to? What are the things that we're, hey, beautiful, what are the things that we're taking the time communicating and talking about that really shouldn't be a part of our conversation? Good morning, Regina. Good morning, Cherish. Guys, if y'all could like and share if you feel led to. What are the things that we're holding conversations about? What are the things that we're giving light to? Because we all know our words carry weight. We all know that our conversations give room. What are you communicating in this season? What are you saying in this season? What are the things that you're sharing in this season? What are you filling your space with? And what are you speaking over your life? I don't have the energy today. This situation, it's not going to work. That's right, Jennifer. Jennifer says, remember the saying, what you feed will live, what you starve will die. And that's true. What are these conversations that we're having? What does our heart look like? How are we functioning? Are we living with malice in our heart? Are we living with unforgiveness? Are we living with anger? What are those things that are holding negative space in our life? And I don't know why I'm here. But at the end of the day, truly, what conversations and what does our heart look like? And it's self-talks too. It's self-talks. We always speak about positive self-talks and how we should make sure that we have positive self-talks and that we're feeding ourselves proper things, that we're speaking to ourselves properly, and even teaching people how to stand in the mirror and go, hey, I love myself. Let's, and speaking those things, but have we done the inner work that will help us be able to honestly say it and not just trick our mind to repeat the things that we have been told to repeat? But those things truly have to live in your heart. That's truly heart work, not hard, but heart work that you have to do. And once our heart is in line, our conversations become different. The things that we do become different. But we have to be careful about the way we say things and do things and the way we handle things, especially in this season. Especially in this season. Because we all have a lot that we're asking for. We all have a lot that we're seeking God for. We all have a lot that we're planning for. But just like last week when I spoke on the foundation, he can't give us things on a faulty foundation. He can't give us things if our foundation isn't solid. You have to be able to hold the weight of what he's giving you. So what conversations are you having? What discussions are you having? What things are you saying in front of people and away from people? What areas in your life are you entertaining things that shouldn't be entertained? conversations that shouldn't be had. Because everything that happens does not deserve a comment, does not deserve a response. It does not deserve your attention. Some things are placed before you to suck the air out of you, to suck the strength out of you. Some things are put there just to see how you're going to manage it, all the way down to a simple conversation. Before you know it, something that was meant for you that looked like it might not work out in your favor, first thing out your mouth is, I ain't want it no way. I ain't want nothing to do with it. I don't want no part of it. Let's see what Cherish says. Cherish says, yes, I wouldn't still be here if I didn't get up and have positive talks with myself. I can't start the day without being grateful and positive. Your perception is your reality. That's so true. Yeah, Yolanda says, once our heart is in line, our mouth will follow. That's good, Vetta. Thank you. So at the end of the day, those are the things. You know, we do the self-talks. Cherish has a desire to beat the disease. And I believe most of my followers know Cherish is battling cancer, and she's doing it amazing. She's very transparent about her good days and her bad days. But she wakes up and be positive. And on the days where she realizes that it's a struggle, she seeks help. She go, hey, looking for positive energy, prayers, love on today. That's going, myself, I do not have the ability. I'm struggling there. It's rough for me today. Can you hold me up? Because some days we can't do it for ourselves. Some days we struggle. Some days it's heavy to do. Some days it's not easy. Some days it's generally it's a struggle. But he gives you people that will pray for you. He gives you people who will stand in the gap for you. It's making sure that you're connected to the right people, especially in this season. Just because they were who you were connected to last season doesn't mean they're who you connected to this season. Just because they had room at the table last season does not mean they have the same room at the table this season. And that is the part we have to grab. Making sure that our heart is in order, that our conversations are pure, and that we're connected to the right source. Outside of Jesus Christ, who am I connected to? And very well be okay if in that season, your connection is with him and him only. Sometimes it happens where the only person that you can talk to, the only person you can communicate with, the only person who should have your ear is Jesus Christ. The only person. And that is sometimes one of the hardest places to be. Because I can remember being like, this all I get? Can I get something? But that was because I was looking for validation for man. When in all actuality, good morning in Instagram world, in actuality, man can't validate what God has called me to. Everybody, you understand what I'm saying? Some days aren't going to be pretty. Some days aren't going to be great. And a lot of days people may not agree. You're not going to always have a physical cheerleader, but the person that's pushing you the most, the person who's calling you forward the most is Jesus. If that's your assignment, it's your assignment. You don't need anybody on this side to push you and cheer you on for what he's preparing you for. Because they may have no clue. He at the end of the day, guess what? 9 times out of 10, they don't have a clue. They don't know because it's not their assignment. So while you're sitting around waiting for man to validate who God has called you to be, you may not ever get the validation from the people you're hoping to get it from. The people you thought that will always tune into your lives, that will always be at your events, that will always purchase things from you, that will always be present for you, may not be the ones to show up. But you also have to understand that they may not be the ones you are called to. So sometimes we get on and we're like, God, I thought they would support better than that. I supported them, or we've been family this long, or we've been doing this long. So I expect them to be present. I expect for them to show up the way they showed up for such and such. Well, the honest to God truth is, if they're not who you're assigned to, if they're not the ones that should be connected to you, guess what? They're not going to show up. Because it's not their place to show up. And at the end of the day, you really shouldn't want them to show up there, because that's not who you're called to. You should want to be effective. So don't look at, and it was crazy because I think it was Latrice Ryan. I happened to log on to, she had like a midday message or something. And what she was saying was, I continued to show up. And I hopped in because I got on initially and then it ended. When I hopped back in, what she was teaching was, even when I had 2 people on my live, or even when I had a small amount of people, and even though the people were saying you're loud, you sweat, you don't have to do all that, she never lost sight of who she was and the assignment that she had, because she realized if it still was only 2 people, hey Tanya, 2 people on her live, or 1 person on her live, she still had an assignment. And she continued to show up. So what she was teaching us was consistency and not getting weary by the numbers or who tune in or who present. Just know if it's 2 to 1. 2 one day, 1 another day. 2, 3 one day, and 1 another day. Good morning, Candy. Good morning, Ed. If that's all that show up, then that's who you're assigned to. So if you're actively on assignment and you're doing the will of God and you're doing it to please Him and not man, you show up regardless. You be present regardless. You don't waver. You don't change. You be consistent in your showing up. You make sure your heart is in the proper position. And if it's not, call it out. Y'all, Thursday morning, I woke up with a massive headache last week because I was carrying something that had nothing to do with me. I was struggling in my own flesh because I was carrying something that literally had nothing to do with Shavetta. Nothing to do with me. I was irritated. I was agitated, and I picked up something that had nothing to do with me. And it seemed like back to back. Well, it's not a surprise. The enemy ain't no dummy. And even when you don't believe, he know where you're going. So he'll put stumbling blocks in the way. But you can't blame it all on him because you had the choice to step over it. You had the choice to use it as a stepping stone and not be stumbled over it. So when Shavetta stumbled over it, Shavetta had to call her own self out. I had a massive headache. And I couldn't focus for 2 days. I gave something that had nothing to do with me, my energy, for 2 days. I got in that shower and I got to talking to Jesus and I started calling those things out, because what I realized that I didn't realize prior was I'm going to call these things out so these things won't keep me from my next. Who out there tired of forfeiting the promise or putting a hold on what God has for you because you're you sitting there worrying about something that ain't none of your own business? You're sitting there stuck and doing the same things you used to do in last season in this season. How many? Give me some hearts and some hands up or something to let me know that you tired of being stuck where you are. You're tired of forfeiting. You're tired of putting your blessing on hold because you're holding on to something that ain't got nothing to do with you. You keep getting held up on the same things over and over and over again. When are we going to grow beyond that point? When are we going to move beyond that point? When are we going to start calling those things forward so that we can move? See, it's not the enemy that got you held up. It's your lack of wanting to call the thing out that has you on pause. It ain't the enemy. Some things are tests. Some things are things that are put forth to hold you up, to keep you stumbling, to make you forfeit. But what happens when you know what it looks like? What happens when you know he doesn't send anything new? He just used a different vessel. So then you have to sit back and really think about that thing. Why I keep getting held up right here? What's in here? What's in here that's holding me from my next? Because see, when I got in that shower, I had to call that thing out. You want to know why? Because I'm sick of not living my full potential. I know what it looks like to be on pause. And yep, I said it. You use your pointer finger to click the button. That pause button on the recorder, you did that. Because God has so much for us. But we're around here putting things on pause, forfeiting things, miscarrying our babies because we refuse to do and call out the things that have us held up. I wasted 2 good days last week on something that didn't have anything to do with me, on something that wasn't mine to carry. But once I realized it, the beautiful thing was where I've grown, because y'all know I'm transparent. I don't hold nothing back from y'all. Where I've grown from was I would get caught in my mind and my thought process and the way I would handle it, it would get stuck right here. And I believe I said it last week and I've said it 11 times. I'm sure that my mind is the one thing that holds me in bondage. I get caught with my thoughts. And that's an unhealthy place to be, because you be done made a whole narrative right up here on your own with other people and your own thoughts and the way you think things are. And you be done created a whole world that isn't so. A whole narrative that never happened. And now you all tight in here because you done played that thing out in your head. So I had to call that thing out because I don't have time to get caught in my mind. I have to have fresh thoughts. When I show up at the salon, I have to be able, and I thank God for blessing me with some of the things that I've been asking for a long time. And sometimes hadn't even asked for it. Good morning, who joined in Instagram. Some things I hadn't asked for in a long time. It was just a desire in my heart to do transformational styles. And those things, you have to be creative. Those things, you have to have an open mind. Can you imagine if I'm holding these thoughts? What it's holding me up from? What it's keeping me from? Y'all guys, I go all the way down to the little things, the things that people may not even think are relevant for that. But it's things, the small things, having clarity in your mind to see what you need to do with this haircut. Having clarity in the mind to click on Facebook Live on Wednesday morning and not misuse the platform that God has given me, but to show up and do what he's called me to do, but do it with a clear mind and a pure heart. And realizing that it's purpose for me outside of what my emotions feel. But creating enough space to make sure that I'm in order so that I come before his people properly. So do the work. You know, y'all, I had to call that thing out. I really did. Then the weekend came and he loved me enough to give me clarity. And he loved me enough to let me know you're on the right track. Hey, Taylor. Uh-oh. Y'all, Siri, I don't have my watch on, so Siri was going to butt in our Facebook Live. But you understand what I'm saying? So it was several things that we went over today. But sometimes you just have to disconnect so you can rebuild. Can somebody give me a time check? I don't know if it's in Instagram or Facebook. Can somebody give me a time check and put it in the comments for me, because I don't have my watch on this morning. Yesterday I struggled with extreme fatigue, and I had to realize that the fatigue came because I needed to disconnect. I needed to free myself from the things that pull on me constantly. Thank you, guys. The things that, and not in a way, not in a bad way, but sometimes in order to be effective and to be what anybody needs from, to be what people are need from you, or be where you are called to be, sometimes you have to disconnect. Sometimes you have to take the time and refuel. Sometimes you just really have to take the time for you in order to be effective. Sometimes you need to step back because a crack may be coming in your foundation. And if you catch that crack early enough, then you won't be standing on faulty ground. You'll be able to, all you got to do is put a little cement on a crack. If you catch it early enough, then there's no true reconstruction that needs to be done if you catch a crack early enough. So then you're making sure that your foundation stays solid. Because listen, we're in August of 2020. I was doing the counting down for the end because my anniversary is the beginning of December. I'll be married 21 years. I tell people my whole adult life. Good morning, Carmen. Good morning. I'll be married 21 years this year. And the amazing part about this journey, 2020 has taught me a lot and taught me where I want to be present and what feels good and what's what I lost in working and planning and building for the world. That's the other part. We work, we plan, we build, and we go, yeah, it's for our future. But we don't realize how much personal time we're giving up and taking from our children, from our spouses, to build other people up. To help other people get where they're supposed to be, but you're depleted on the other end. So I was calculating. I was like, yeah, it's 4 months to my 21st wedding anniversary. Then I was like, goodness, y'all, we got 4 more months in 2020. The year of, everybody was like, perfect vision. The year we win, my church. That was our mantra, and it's still our mantra. Because I'm going to tell you, I've won so much in 2020. We had 2.5 months of rest. It was 2.5 months of rest. And the burden, and honestly, God kept us through that. I think it was maybe the week or two before I went out where I felt like everything was tight. I was losing dollars. I was, my money was running out and unemployment wasn't kicking in. And so it was rough moments. It built character. It helped us build character. It helped me build character. It helped me realize what was important. I took that time to do even more inner work. So now I'm mindful about my conversations. I'm mindful about the way I speak over my life. Not just self-talk. So once you get out the mirror with those positive self-talks and where you're motivating and you're pushing yourself, I want you to watch the conversations you're having at work. Watch the conversations that you're having in your mind. Watch the things that you're saying. Watch those things. Because you're creating things. Just like they tell you, you speak it out, and I believe I said it. I don't know if I said it on live last week or not. But where you speak of manifestation of things. And I don't know, I may have been talking to somebody. I think it was Saturday I was talking to somebody. And you set goals and you push yourself to these places. And you're like, I'm here. But if it's not God's will for your life, if it's not what he's called for you, then it might not take root. Or it might not be fruitful. So seek him. God, what do you have for me to do next? But can I offer you, you got to sit quiet enough so you can hear it? Can I offer you that when you ask him, that you don't get so eager to have it that you move before time, or that you open your mouth and say something before time, or that you speak ill against something before you're supposed to. Remember the conversations that you're having. Remember the conversations that you're having. Remember the things that you say. Remember how you speak against people. Remember the atmosphere that you're creating. Because your words carry weight. Your tongue is an extremely dangerous weapon. Hey, Valori, love you. Remember the things that you say out of your mouth. Whether you're speaking ill against yourself, whether you're speaking ill against your brother, whether you're speaking ill over your family. Because I promise you, it was a comment that I made years ago. And I'm watching it manifest because first of all, I said it more than one time. But I see the remnants of it. But what I've had to do in the spirit, good morning, Christy. In the spirit, I've had to fight. And I'm fighting and I'm not giving up. But I had to think about the words that were spoken out of my mouth over my children. Not always just the great things that you speak. But you think in general conversation, you can say certain things. Y'all be careful. Tailor your conversations. Stop spending time talking about things that should be prayed about. Be careful what you're allowing to come out your mouth. Be careful. And again, once you ask him for something, allow him time to show up. Stop trying to do things in your own will. Stop trying to do things in your own might. Guys, I feel like I'm halfway all over the place, but it's different things that are needed this morning. And I feel led to say, stop picking up bags that's not yours. Stop putting on weight that's not yours to put on. While you're out here in the natural trying to shed weight, you're spiritually picking up things that have nothing to do with you. So then you're getting light on one side and heavy on the other. And you're trying to figure out why I can't push forward. I'm losing this weight, but I feel real heavy. Why I feel real worn. It's because it may not be in the natural that you're picking these things up, but spiritually you're grabbing it. Spiritually, you're holding on to something that ain't yours. Stop picking up bags. Stop putting in, all I keep saying is like a book bag on your back. That means you put 2 arms in it and you holding it on your back. And you're trying to figure out, why am I struggling to get up this hill? Because you done put something on your back that ain't yours. Good morning, Margie. You put something on your back that's not yours. You had no business picking it up. That was something you were supposed to pray about and keep it pushing, but you decided that you was going to take it on. And some stuff we take on, we're not even equipped to handle. Just because your heart feels it or because your mind thinks you can help, you may not be in a place where you can handle it. Stop picking up assignments that's not yours. Stop carrying weights that's not yours. He wants you to shed weight in the natural and in the spiritual. He wants you a whole, healthy person. So don't lose them pounds in the natural and pick it up in the spiritual. Let's shed it all the way around. Let's not pick up anything that we're not equipped to do. Because if he have you over here learning how to do, if he have you over there doing modified exercises, why you over here trying to do what your sister doing? Because she healthy enough to handle it. You just ain't there yet. So if he told you to come over here and do the modifieds in the spiritual, then be all right with doing modified because he got you where he needs you. What he's doing is helping you learn endurance. What he's doing is teaching you how to listen to your body, how to know when you can handle something and when you can't handle something. But you trying to get over there because you see your sister doing like full-fledged jumping hurdles and jumping jacks, and she handling all. You don't know where she went from. You don't know how long she was in modified workout spiritually to be able to hold the weight that she's holding, to do what she's doing. You don't know how long she's been doing that. You thought you saw her whole journey, but everything isn't always on display. You're not going to always see everything somebody has gone through. And honestly, if they don't share their testimony, you really have no clue. Good morning, Jametta. You really have no clue until it's time for them to share their story. And then once you hear it, it's much later. So then you're sitting there going, oh, dang. That's how come she got to do all that when I was over there in modified and I was worried about why. See, hindsight. And you still in modified because you was out of order and tried to do it, and now you done hurt yourself. Now you got to go back and rehab all over again. I don't know why this example came up. However, that's the one you feel led to use. You understand me? So be okay with where he has you because he's planning and he's getting your steps ready for the journey. Don't tap out before time because you think somebody's going before you. Or you're thinking somebody's not supporting you. Or you think I'm not accepted in this place. Maybe you're not and maybe you are. Maybe it's just time for them not to say nothing to you. Because the only voice you should be hearing right now is his. The only voice you should be attentive to is his voice. Maybe he's not sending you a fresh word from somebody else because he done sent you 50 and he done told you 50 times. Now it's time to sit back and take what you have in you, to take what he's placed in you and apply it. He's not going to continue to give you stuff and you're not applying what you already got. It's no different than a kid with a plate. I don't want this, I want that. No, I gave you that. But I don't really want, no, that's your portion. That's your portion, eat it. But I really want, that's not what I gave you. I gave you this. Because I understand what your stomach can handle. I understand what you can handle. I understand what you can digest. I understand what you can eat. Good morning, Mitch. I understand. So this is what I'm feeding you. Now, either you can eat it hot or you can eat it cold, but you're going to eat that. Especially if your daddy fixed it on the plate for you. What I'm realizing in this journey and in my older walk, legitly, I want my food hot. I want what he got for me. I want it fresh. I'm tired of missing out, y'all. I'm tired of missing out. I'm tired of putting myself on pause. I'm tired of not living a fulfilled life. And when I got sick and tired of being sick and tired, being sick of my own self, guess what? I start showing up different. I start eating fresh meals. I start seeing. I had no clue I would have a radio segment. I never had the desire to be on radio. I never knew that I would show up every Wednesday morning on Facebook Live talking to people that can't talk back to me. Do y'all know that's a struggle? You used to sitting around talking and people laughing and the communication. So seeing the words is easier. But I never thought this would be it. I never thought I would have a platform on radio. But when I got tired of eating cold food or waiting forever or even missing meals is when he starts showing, this is what it is. But I want you over here. I'm from Columbia, South Carolina. I'm on a radio station out of Charlotte that's connected to iHeartRadio that goes across the world. So when I was sitting there wanting to give up, wanting to tap out, wanting nothing to do, being angry with everything that I felt like the beauty industry had given me, I'm sitting there wanting to quit. So I could travel the world and share the love of Jesus Christ. Shavetta, how you going to get paid? Jesus is going to pay the bill. And that's all I had because I had no clue how I would get paid to do any of it. How I was going to get paid to do any of it, right? But all I knew was Jesus never felt me. He never hurt my heart like man hurt it. And so I wanted people to know what his love felt like. Because I was hurting. I was disappointed. So in return, what better love to go share with the world? But how can you really share that love if you don't have it in your heart yet? If you hadn't done the work to have a heart like Jesus Christ? How you can share something that you barely know anything about? So first I had to understand what his love felt like. I had to first understand what it felt like to love even in hurt. How to forgive even if I didn't understand. How to apply those things. So in that, I was like, okay. Hey, Takia. So then now I'm able. But that's because I decided that I was going to put in the work. Am I perfect? No. But none of these things that I'm doing are things I thought I would do. A platform on Facebook Live and Instagram TV or live. Never thought. Never thought anybody would want to log on and listen to me talk about life experiences, things that I've gone through, things that I've encountered. Never. Never thought that I would have an opportunity to be on the radio. Never thought. And I'm learning that, y'all, that the radio life is not easy. This is easier. Clicking the button as far as making sure that you're out there. But anything worth having is worth getting educated and understanding. So I'm at the point now where I'm learning that. And I've had to reach out to people to make sure that my platform there is stable like this platform. So my prayer is tomorrow at 1:30 on WDRB on iHeartRadio, the WDRB, the heart of the voice of the community. My prayer is that you guys are going to be able to hear me. Last week you heard my sound bites and my music, but I'm hoping that my segment uploaded. If not, don't lose faith. don't lose faith in your girls. Still try to log on if you can. The following week, but I'm on every Thursday at 1:30 for a sip of midday motivation. It's a 30-minute segment for right now. But guys, what I'm saying is, make sure you're grounded and faulty. Make sure you're fixing all the cracks before they start so that your foundation is solid. Stop carrying the weight that is not yours to carry. If he has you on a modified workout, then be okay with the modified workout. Be okay with where he has you, because it's for a reason. He has you in the place he has you in for a reason. Ask him and seek him for understanding. And God, why am I here? What lesson is it for me to learn? Or God, is it just a place of rest? Because don't always think when you're sitting, it means you've done something wrong or you've been out of order. Sometimes it's simply rest, my child. Because you're about to give birth. And if you're about to give birth, any mother knows labor is long. And it's never a set time. It just depends on how big this baby is. It depends on what you're about to birth. So be okay if it's rest, because it's for a reason. So be okay. And the ones of y'all that got that extra stuff in your book bag, that spiritual stuff you're carrying, heck, you might even pick up somebody's stuff in the natural. I offer to you to stop. You know how when you're young, you're on a journey, take that book bag off, unzip it. Take that stuff out. Drop it off where it is. Put that book bag back on your back and keep it moving. And you're going to realize you have so much momentum after that. Because you've cleared out everything that wasn't yours to carry. You've taken rest in knowing that wasn't yours to carry, and they going to be okay. But in order for you to fulfill what he has given you to fulfill, you got to let go of some stuff. And go ahead and eat off a hot plate of food. Stop eating cold food. If your daddy fixed that plate for you, it's a purpose in it. Your nourishment is in there. And that plate ain't going nowhere. Now, unless he just decide to take it back, and I don't want nothing taken. Anything that he's assigned to me, anyone he's assigned to me, whatever task he's given, whatever task he's put before me, whatever he says, Shavetta, I need you to handle, I want it. And I don't want to forfeit anymore. I don't want to lose out. Hey, Kelly, I don't want to lose out. I want everything he has for me. So in that, I'm not giving space to things that aren't mine anymore. I'm not picking up weight that wasn't mine. I'm not giving up mental capacity. I'm no longer giving up myself. I want everything he has for me. And guess what? I ain't leaving nothing behind. I want it all. Yep, that means I'm going to have to work hard. Yep, that means I'm going to have to stay focused. So the same way I push myself to work out in the natural, the same way I push myself to show up in the natural, the same way that I am determined to drop this weight, the same way I'm determined to do all these things, best to believe I'm that much determined, 5 times worse in the spiritual. Because I know it's people connected to me. I know I have people assigned to me. So I refuse to let them down or myself. It used to always be, I refuse to let other people down. I want to make sure I'm everything they need. No. I'm going to put myself with them. So the same energy and the same desire I have not to let people down, man down, I have the same desire not to let myself down. So I'm going to show up for me and the people that's connected to me. Not just them anymore. Because I need to love and care for myself in the same way. Have the same push and have the same desire I have for others, for myself. So guess what? I'm not forfeiting anything else. I'm not going to miss out anymore. I'm coming for everything my daddy got for me, and I'm going to live a fulfilled life. In Jesus' name. Guys, I love y'all. I don't have a watch on, so I really don't know what time it is, but I feel like my time is up. I feel like I've been before y'all a long time. Remember, iHeartRadio, download the app, go to WDRB, follow WDRB, the voice of the community. That's where you'll hear me every Thursday at 1:30 for a midday sip of motivation. I pray that y'all hear me speaking tomorrow and not music, because your girl is learning how to do radio. And it's a learning process, but I'm grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful for the blessing. I am prepared to go walk for the, because I need to put my time in my Now Walk It Out challenge for 2020 under Denise Jackson. Please make sure y'all join us in that. She's dealing with the mental, physical, emotional, spiritual side of everything. It is an amazing group. We just started on Monday, and the love and the support that you get in that group is amazing. Denise, the God gave her a vision, and Denise is walking it out. So guys, whatever he's placed in you and what he's called you to do, be that for the people that's wait. You know, it's somebody out there waiting on you to be who you're supposed to be, so they can be who they're supposed to be. They're assigned to you. So I am actually, I know y'all can tell I look a little different. Because I'm actually dressed for my workout. Thank you, Denise. Now Walk It Out 2020. And so, guys, what she's created over there is amazing. Y'all chill with her every Wednesday morning. So support your sister and do it for yourself. Do it for yourself. What she's created over there with the vision God has given her is amazing. And I don't just say that because she's my sister friend, but legitly, it has been a blessing, and I know it's several people on here that's already in there. If y'all go find her, I know she'll add you in the group. She just asks that you be active and you show it. So keep pushing, you know, and keep being great. Guys, I love y'all. Thank y'all for coming on. I will see you next Wednesday at 7:00 a.m. with a sip of morning motivation. Also, tomorrow for a sip of midday motivation on WDRB, the voice of the community, out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I will be there. I will be on there tomorrow. Like I say, I'm hoping that my audio went over, but like I told somebody else, it's two different. It'll be two different segments. I'm trying to make it where you won't hear the same thing twice. So don't think just because you join me at 7:00 on Wednesday morning, you can't join me for lunch on on Thursday afternoon. Guys, I love y'all so much, and I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Like I said, walk this thing out. Start losing some weight in that baggage that you're carrying. Stop carrying other people's stuff that's not yours to carry. Stop worrying about things that have nothing to do with you. And really work on being amazing. Love you guys. Y'all have a blessed day. Once again, I'm Shavetta Belton, the owner of Divine Oasis Salon. I'm also a stylist there. I'm an educator in the beauty industry. I am an author, and I'm also a life coach. Love you guys. Have a blessed week. Look at it. Crooked because I was cutting off Instagram. I love you guys. Once again, Facebook family, thank y'all for rocking with me. Thank y'all for loving me, and I appreciate you guys. Have the best day ever. Be blessed, and I love you.